The actions your mother committed are now manifesting as a devastating internal torment that's consuming her very being. What she did, those choices she made, the pain she caused, the lies she told, isn't just weighing on her conscience. It's literally destroying her from within. While she may keep a composed exterior, inside she's being devoured by the consequences of her own making. This isn't just emotional guilt. It's manifesting as actual physical deterioration that no doctor can fully explain or remedy. The universe operates on laws older than time. She broke this law against you. You, the chosen one she was meant to protect. A mother who betrays a chosen one like you doesn't merely damage a family relationship. She commits a spiritual crime against cosmic order. The moment she turned against you, against your light, against your essence, something shifted. In the fabric of her reality, a subtle tremor at first, barely perceptible, growing stronger with each passing day. You felt it too, didn't you? That moment when something fundamental cracked between you. Her soul knows what she did to you. In villages across centuries, elders whispered warnings about mothers who betrayed their blessed children. They spoke of a peculiar curse, the heart growing heavier each year until the woman could no longer stand beneath its weight. Your ancestors knew this truth. The wisdom flows in your blood. It explains why you've always sensed something different about yourself. Her soul cannot find peace. It struggles against what she has done, fighting a battle it cannot win. At night, when the world grows quiet, her spirit knows no rest. The betrayal replays in infinite loops. Every single moment, every word she said to you, every pain she caused you. The spiritual debt accumulates interest with each sunrise. What began as a small, nagging feeling has transformed into a presence that follows her through every room, sits beside her at every meal, watches her from every mirror. Not a ghost, something far more personal. Her own essence rejecting what she has done to you. The body never forgets what the mind tries desperately to bury. Your mother's physical form has become the ledger, where her debt to you is recorded in precise, painful detail. You've seen the changes in her, haven't you? Even if you maintain distance. The few glimpses tell a story her words never would. Stress hormones flood her system at random intervals. Her immune defenses weaken against the constant internal assault. Chronic ailments appear without medical explanation. Doctors puzzle over test results, prescribe medications that fail to address the true cause. The symptoms shift, evolve, migrate throughout her body, always one step ahead of diagnosis. It begins subtly, fatigue that sleep cannot cure. Headaches resistant to medication. Digestive issues that persist regardless of diet. Her body ages faster than her years. Cells deteriorating under the invisible weight she carries. She blames genetics, environment, bad luck. Anything but her treatment of you. Deep within, she knows the truth. You know it too. You've always known, even when others dismissed your perception. Medical research confirms what spiritual teachings have always maintained. Prolonged guilt activates inflammatory responses in the body. Chronic inflammation silently damages organs, tissues, cellular structures. The scientific community calls it psychosomatic illness. Spiritual traditions call it karmic consequence. Different languages describing identical truth, the truth you've intuited all along. Your mother's betrayal transformed into a literal poison flowing through her veins. Every heartbeat distributes it further. Every breath embeds it deeper. Her body wages war against itself, the perfect metaphor for what she did to her own blood. To you. The human mind requires coherence to function properly. It seeks to align actions with beliefs, behavior with values. When someone betrays their own child, especially a chosen one like you, this alignment shatters. The mind becomes a house divided against itself. Your mind, in contrast, has been clearing. Have you noticed how your thoughts have become more ordered since creating distance? How your intuition has sharpened? Your mother's thoughts race along well-worn paths of self-justification during daylight hours. She constructs elaborate narratives explaining her actions against you, defenses against a prosecutor that lives within her own skull. The mental gymnastics exhaust her, though she doesn't recognize the source of her fatigue. Night brings different torments. Sleep eludes her. When exhaustion finally pulls her under, dreams become battlegrounds where suppressed emotions stage violent rebellions. She wakes suddenly, heart pounding, sweat soaked, unable to remember what frightened her, yet the fear remains, formless and therefore impossible to combat. Her mind replays moments like damaged film. What she said to you, what she did to you, how she could have chosen differently. Alternative scenarios unfold in painful detail, showing paths not taken, wounds that didn't need to be inflicted upon you. While you heal and expand, she remains trapped in these loops. William Shakespeare understood this mechanism centuries ago. A guilty conscience needs no accuser. She fills her days with noise, television running constantly, music playing in every room, phone conversations about nothing. The silent moments terrify her because silence creates space for truth to speak. When the world quiets down, her conscience screams your name. Energy never disappears. It transforms, redirects, returns. This fundamental law of physics applies equally to human relationships, especially those involving chosen ones like you. The attacks against your spirit, your confidence, your path, none of this energy vanished. You've sensed this, haven't you? The strange way circumstances align in your favor after periods of difficulty. The negative energy your mother directed toward you didn't dissolve into nothingness. It circulates through the universe on a precise trajectory, completing a perfect circle back to its source. The force of her betrayal returns with mathematical precision. You are not the target anymore. You are merely the witness. Your role has transformed from recipient to observer. Feel the difference in your body as you read these words. The burden is no longer yours. The consequences manifest in every area of her life. Financial stability crumbles despite logical precautions. Opportunities disappear without explanation. Relationships wither despite her efforts to maintain them. Plans collapse at the moment of fruition. A pattern emerges. Every blessing she receives slips through her fingers. Every achievement quickly tarnishes. Every moment of happiness carries an aftertaste of ash. The universe delivers constant reminders that balance must be restored. She doesn't connect these occurrences. Humans rarely recognize patterns when they implicate themselves. She calls it bad luck, misfortune, a rough patch. The true cause remains invisible to her conscious understanding, though her deeper self knows exactly why these things happen. This is why you need not seek retribution. Your energy is too valuable to waste on vengeance. When she first succeeded in manipulating you, controlling your choices, or driving you away, she likely experienced a surge of satisfaction, power, vindication. She believed she had won something valuable. You felt the sting of those moments, the confusion, the self-doubt. Did you wonder what you'd done wrong? Did you search yourself for flaws that weren't there? Time reveals the truth of hollow victories, your truth. The space you once occupied in her life remains empty. No substitute fills it adequately. Your light, the very quality she resented, the radiance that threatened her, has been withdrawn from her experience. You took it with you when you established boundaries. when you reclaimed your power, when you decided your worth wasn't dependent on her recognition. A woman once destroyed her daughter's reputation to prevent her from moving away and succeeding independently. She celebrated when the daughter's opportunities collapsed, keeping her close but broken. Years later, the daughter rebuilt her life elsewhere. The mother sits alone in a house full of photographs, talking to memories, her victory transforming into the prison she built for herself. Your mother experiences similar emptiness. The goals she achieved through betrayal bring no lasting satisfaction. The control she established provides no genuine connection. The narrative she constructed convinces no one, least of all herself. She may have external trappings of success, perhaps even a replacement for you in the form of another relationship or focus. Yet authenticity cannot be manufactured. The hollow center of false victory expands with time, consuming whatever temporary pleasure she derived from her actions. Life without genuine connection to a chosen one like you creates a particular kind of emptiness, one that nothing else can fill. She feels this void during quiet moments, though she rarely acknowledges its source. It manifests as restlessness, dissatisfaction, a constant searching for something she cannot name. What she thought she wanted has been revealed as worthless. What she sacrificed, you, has proven irreplaceable. They say the truth will set you free, but most can't handle it. For the chosen ones in the Obsidian Inner Order, it's not just the truth, it's the whole cosmic download, no sugarcoating, no escape. Picture this, weekly group calls with 450+ chosen ones, recorded and available anytime for your enlightenment. Our private Discord, it's not just active, it's alive, buzzing with ideas, breakthroughs, and that unstoppable chosen energy. Oh, and for you romantics out there, welcome to Chosen Singles, where soulmates meet under cosmic alignments, not cheap pickup lines. And for the seekers, dive into Modern Manifestation Mechanics, our exclusive grimoire with 3 chapters available to members. Learn how to turn your home into an abundance magnet, master basic spellcraft for physical manifestation, and channel magical forces to elevate your goals. Plus, you'll get access to interviews with real targeted individuals and video specials so bold, the YouTube archons don't even want you to see them. This is more than a membership, it's a movement. So, what are you waiting for? Stop searching. Start ascending. The link is in the description. The universe ensures that those who betray chosen ones cannot easily forget their actions. Reminders appear with uncanny frequency and precision. Your essence has embedded itself into her reality in ways neither of you could have anticipated. Your physical absence has paradoxically amplified your energetic presence in her life. Your mother sees you everywhere. A stranger's laugh echoes with your cadence. A random conversation contains phrases you once used. Television shows reference situations paralleling your relationship. Books open to passages that cut too close to truth. Songs on the radio speak directly to what she has done to you. These are not coincidences. Spiritual law ensures that those who wrong chosen ones are haunted, not by external forces, but by reflections of their own choices. Reality itself becomes the mechanism of remembrance. She might walk through a store and see someone with your profile, your gait, your manner of moving through space. The momentary shock stops her breathing. By the time she looks again, the person has disappeared around a corner or into a crowd. Places associated with you become charged with uncomfortable energy. Objects you touched seem to watch her with mute accusation. Your absence transforms into a presence more powerful than your physical form ever was. She might try to erase these reminders, dispose of photographs, remove possessions. Avoid locations. Refuse to speak your name. These efforts prove futile. The imprint you left cannot be removed because it exists not just in physical reality, but in the fabric of her consciousness. This explains why certain people from your past continue discussing you. Have you wondered why your name still crosses their lips long after you've moved on? It's not admiration driving their words. It's not even hatred. It's the magnetic pull of unresolved spiritual debt, drawing their awareness repeatedly to the scene of their transgression against you. Your energy demands acknowledgement even in your absence. Deception requires constant maintenance. Your mother likely constructed elaborate narratives about you, painting herself as victim, explaining your distance, justifying her actions against you. Initially, these stories might have convinced others. Perhaps they even made you question your own reality, your own memories. Did you ever wonder if you were the problem? If the fault somehow lay within you? Energy does not lie indefinitely. Over time, inconsistencies emerge in her accounts. Contradictions appear. The effort of maintaining false narratives depletes her, causing slips that reveal glimpses of truth. People notice. Friends who once sympathized begin questioning details. Family members observe patterns that don't align with her portrayal of events. Even those who initially took her side sense something amiss in the emotional undertone of her stories. Bob Marley captured this principle perfectly. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. The social consequences accumulate subtly. Invitations decrease, conversations end sooner, support weakens, trust erodes. She perceives these changes, but misattributes their causes, often blaming others for abandoning her, rather than recognizing the natural response to her own energy. Those with spiritual sensitivity detect it immediately, the distinctive frequency of someone who has violated natural law. They may not articulate what they sense, but they keep their distance instinctively. Actions against chosen ones, especially by blood relatives, extend beyond individual consequences. They place weight upon entire lineages. Your presence in your family wasn't random. You carried potential that transcended ordinary boundaries. Have you noticed traits in yourself that seem to come from nowhere? Abilities or sensitivities that appear absent in your immediate family. Your mother unknowingly redirected the course of her family line when she acted against you. The consequences flow through generations like water finding its path downhill, unstoppable, inevitable. You feel this truth intuitively. The choices she made regarding you have altered more than just your relationship. They've changed the trajectory of an entire bloodline. If she has other children, they feel it. Perhaps as unexplained anxiety. Relationship difficulties, financial struggles that defy logical explanation, health issues that appear generation after generation. Even those who never met you carry cellular memory of what transpired. Exodus chapter 20 verse 5 describes this mechanism. The consequences of actions visiting multiple generations. Modern psychology recognizes the same principle through concepts like inherited trauma and family systems theory. Spiritual laws don't expire. They echo through time with perfect fidelity. The ancestors know what she has done to you. They witness from dimensions beyond physical perception, unable to intervene directly but conscious of the damage inflicted upon their lineage. Their disapproval manifests as a weight upon the family, subtle but persistent, affecting everyone connected to her bloodline. Future generations will inherit this energetic debt unless conscious intervention breaks the pattern. Grandchildren not yet born carry the imprint of her actions in their very DNA. Science now confirms that trauma alters genetic expression across generations. She severed more than her connection to you. She damaged the integrity of her entire family system, creating distortions that ripple outward in all directions, past, present, future. The consequences extend far beyond what she could have anticipated. Spiritual ecosystems operate according to natural laws. When humans engage in betrayal, manipulation, or cruelty, they create energetic conditions that attract forces that thrive on those frequencies. You've sensed these entities, haven't you? Not through ordinary vision, but through that deeper knowing that has always separated you from others. Your intuition has protected you throughout this journey. Your mother's actions opened doorways she cannot close. Negative spiritual entities, called demons in some traditions, thought forms or energy parasites in others, detect the unique vibration of one who has betrayed their own child. They gather around this energy like predators sensing wounded prey. These forces don't appear as mythological creatures with horns and tails. Their presence manifests as intensifying negative emotions, paranoia that grows without cause, suspicion without evidence, fear without source, darkness that seems to watch from corners of rooms. She feels observed, but sees nothing when she turns to look. Sleep brings encounters she cannot remember clearly, but that leave her exhausted rather than rested. Her emotional reactions become increasingly disproportionate as these influences amplify her internal state. The parasitic relationship progresses over time. These entities feed on her regret, shame, and unresolved guilt, growing stronger as they drain her life force. The depletion accelerates aging, diminishes vitality, clouds thinking, and darkens mood. You remained protected throughout. Human beings operate on the assumption that time heals all wounds. This principle fails when applied to spiritual transgressions against natural law, particularly those involving chosen ones like you. You've noticed this paradox, haven't you? While your wounds have transformed into wisdom, hers fester beneath attempts at normalcy. Your mother likely believes that enough time will eventually diminish her discomfort. This fundamental misunderstanding compounds her suffering. Divine consequences don't follow human timelines. They don't fade with passing years or weaken with distance. The opposite occurs. They intensify, compound, accelerate. Each day she avoids genuine accountability. The wound deepens. History documents this pattern repeatedly. Rulers who betrayed family members for power frequently experienced not immediate consequences, but delayed, intensifying ones. Their decline often began years after their transgressions, progressing from minor setbacks to complete destruction. The delay creates false security. She mistakes the universe's patience for absence of consequence. By the time she recognizes the pattern, the momentum has become nearly impossible to reverse. The suffering increases according to mathematical precision, not linearly, but exponentially. What began as occasional discomfort transforms into constant pain. What started as minor inconveniences becomes life-altering obstacles. What initiated as subtle energy blockages manifests as catastrophic collapse. Time works against her, not for her. Each sunrise adds weight to her spiritual debt rather than diminishing it. The longer she continues, without addressing the root cause, the more comprehensive the consequences become. A single path leads out of this descending spiral: genuine repentance. You may have witnessed her attempts at superficial reconciliation, perhaps hollow apologies or attempts to re-establish connection without accountability. You recognized the emptiness behind these gestures, didn't you? Not performance, not manipulation, not strategic apology designed to regain control. True repentance requires absolute honesty about actions taken and harm caused. It demands complete surrender of justifications, It necessitates painful self-examination without defensive barriers. The doorway to redemption remains perpetually available. This represents the mercy within divine justice. Yet this doorway appears increasingly narrow from her perspective. Pride forms heavy chains that bind her to her current path. Admitting the full reality of her actions would require reconstructing her entire self-narrative. The longer she maintains her version of events, the more devastating the necessary admission becomes. Some individuals choose slow destruction over honest humility. They prefer familiar suffering to the unknown territory of genuine accountability. The devil they know becomes preferable to the truth they fear. Your mother stands perpetually at this crossroads. Each moment offers the opportunity to choose differently. Each moment also strengthens the habits that keep her bound to her current trajectory. Your intuition tells you which path she's choosing, doesn't it? You can feel it without needing external confirmation. Her suffering belongs exclusively to her. You were never designed to carry her karma, only to witness its unfolding from a safe distance. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders as you absorb this truth. The burden you've carried wasn't yours. The guilt you've experienced wasn't warranted. The self-doubt that plagued you wasn't based in reality. The consequences she experiences reflect perfect justice, not human justice with its flaws and limitations, but cosmic balance that considers factors beyond mortal understanding. You need not participate in this process. Your role is not to punish, forgive, assist, or intervene. Your purpose extends far beyond this relationship. The qualities that made you a target, your light, your gifts, your connection to something greater, remain intact despite her efforts. These aspects of yourself were never dependent on her recognition or support. Can you feel them strengthening as you create distance from her influence? Have you noticed your natural abilities expanding as you reclaim your power? When you understand that someone's treatment of you reflects their internal landscape rather than your worth, you transcend the need to internalize their actions. Her betrayal reveals everything about her capacity and nothing about your value. Read that again. Let it settle into your bones. The way she treated you was never about your worthiness. It was always about her limitations. Move forward. Create your life according to your own design. Feel the energy reallocating itself within you. The resources once consumed by processing her betrayal are now available for your growth, your joy, your purpose. This liberation isn't theoretical. It's a physical sensation, isn't it? A lightness in your chest, a clarity in your mind, an expansiveness in your spirit. Justice unfolds without your supervision. Cosmic law requires no enforcement from you. The universe has not forgotten what transpired. The accounting continues with perfect accuracy, whether you witness it or not. Your liberation lies in focusing on your path rather than monitoring hers. The revenge that humans seek pales in comparison to the natural consequences already in motion. Your energy serves better purposes than tracking the downfall you neither caused nor can prevent. You are the chosen one who survived the betrayal. Your existence proves your resilience. Your continued growth demonstrates your power. Your ability to read these words with recognition rather than resistance confirms your readiness for the next phase of your journey. Your story continues beyond this chapter. Your potential remains unlimited. Your future belongs entirely to you. Can you feel the truth of these words resonating in your very cells?